Okay, we're ready to end this. I'm not sure. Oh, might be a. I don't think I'll hide. No, we'll just plow through everything.
Come, Nerevar, friend or traitor, come. Come and look upon the heart and Akulakan. And bring Wraithguard. I have need of it.
I want full Magicka in here. This isn't the time to be stingy. Go. And I want. Can I even use this once? I have no idea.
Come to the heart chamber. I wait for you there where we last met countless ages ago. Come to me through fire and war. I welcome you. Welcome, Moon and Star. I have prepared a place for you.
He doesn't sound like a Dunmer.
Come, bring Wraithguard to the heart chamber. Together let us free the cursed false gods. Welcome, Nerevar. Together we shall speak for the law and the land and shall drive the mongrel dogs of the Empire from Morrowind. Is this how you honor the Sixth House and the tribe unmourned? Come to me openly, and not by stealth.
What stealth? Not the one who's attacking me. Daedric short sword. I've seen many of these. What does it look like? Fairly boring.
Welcome, Moon and Star, to this place where destiny is made.
Very odd looking. Hostile. How do you open that? Probably by talking to him. There has to be an alternative way there. Absolutely has to be. Akulakhan Chamber. Yeah, we'll see. It began here. It will end here. Have you any parting words? Would you prefer to skip the speeches and get to our business? You are the challenger here after all. So to you goes the courtesy of the first blow. You are here, you are the challenger here after all. So to you goes the courtesy of the first. Now that you have come to me here, there can be but one result. Many times I have considered offering to share this place with you. I considered offering to accept your oath of service. You might try to buy my trust by giving me Wraithguard, Healing and Sunder. I thought we might once again be friends, comrades, brothers in arms. But I have won this place and power by right of conquest, by right of daring and enterprise. I will not risk it to cunning and deceit. I offer you no deals. If you are my enemy, I cannot trust you, and even if you are not my enemy, I cannot let you live. It will all be decided here. I believe I will prevail, but I cannot be sure, and I am vain enough that, should I fall, I would wish to be remembered in my own words, so that you have final questions you would ask them now. I have final questions I would ask of you, you would answer. My first question is, are you really Nervar reborn? I am Nervar reborn. That is bitter. The gods and fates are cruel. I've served you faithfully once, Lord Nervar, and you repaid me with death. I hope this time it will be you who pays for your faithlessness. My second question is, if you win, what do you plan to do with the power of the heart? Will you make yourself a god and establish a thearchy? Will you establish a thearchy? Or will you complete Akulakhan and dispute control of Tamriel with the Septims? Or will you share the heart with your followers as I have, and breed a new race of divine immortals? I have my own plans. Well, perhaps there may be surprises in store for me, eh? Or perhaps you obscure your plans on principle. Or perhaps you are an instinctive bluffer. No matter. My final question is, if I had offered to let you join me, would you have surrendered Wraithguard, Sunder and Kin to me to seal your oath? Unlike. An interesting response. You might have been willing to join me, but never to surrender the tools. Very interesting. I'm glad I didn't try to bargain with you. And now, if you have any questions, ask them. Otherwise, you are the challenger. Await your first blow. What do we want to ask? Why are you building the Akulakhan? Akulakhan will serve three purposes. First, it will be the champion of my armies, liberating first Vardenfell, then Morrowind, and then perhaps the rest of Tamriel. Second, it will serve as a sower and cultivator of divine substance derived from the heart. 3. It will serve as the prominent banner and symbol of our cause to defy the Empire, to liberate mortals from ancient superstitions, and to glorify our crusade against the gods. What's your plan for the Dunmer? We'll free the Dunmer from the Imperial yoke and cast down the false gods of the temple. I will lead them out of their ancient superstitions and give them with intimate knowledge of the divine. Then, perhaps, when Morrowind is once again restored to its ancient glories, it will be time to consider whether the Dunmer should cultivate ambitions of empire. About the Sixth House? The Sixth House will serve as the elite cadre of our movement. Our cultists evolve through various stages of enlightenment. They will become, as suits their abilities, either holy warriors or priests. Their duty is to prepare themselves for service. Their joy and liberation is to enter ever more deeply into the profound enlightenment of the divine dream world. Let's ask about the Dreamer. I have no idea what happened to the Dreamer. I have been denied the opportunity to study Wraithguard, and I'm not sure how much of Kagrenax's lore was invested in his tools, and how much in his own sorcery and mastery. I've long studied Kagrenax, and have come to admire his wisdom and craft. Someday after the campaign of the Sixth House are secure, I hope to have time to dedicate to this mystery. Okay, new plan for the heart. I will continue to draw divine power from the heart and distribute it to my kin followers. I will continue to broadcast divine power upon the blind winds, so that it will touch each soul on Vardenfell and then more broadly across the waters to the rest of Morrowind and Tamriel. In time, every mortal in Tamriel shall feel the liberating contact of the divine. I'm pretty much finished talking. Very well. If you are impatient to begin, go ahead. You are the challenger. Yep, just disappeared.
What a fool you are. I'm a god. How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. How could you be so naive? There is no escape. No recall or intervention can work in this place. Come, lay down your weapons. It is not too late for my mercy.
Where do I need to go? Statics?
What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop!
I found the heart of Lord Khan within the giant artifact Akula Khan. I struck the heart with thunder, then struck it again and again with keening until the enchantment was destroyed. Severed from the sustaining power of the heart, Dagoth was destroyed. The disturbance triggered an earthquake and I had to flee for my life. Can I now use divine intervention? Yeah, it's basically a gigantic button. And that's basically it. I'd like to still talk to people. It might have been more dramatic if I would have just tried to run out of there, but it's just silly. I'm a mage. Why would I risk my life on that?
Well, I find myself in pleasant company.
I'd like to talk to Vivek. Also, the...
How about sharing the wealth? I've lots to show you.
No, I'll just go talk to Vivek. I don't expect anything really impressive. I'll also go
You
to
seem
the
like very good company.
Cavern of the Incarnate.
Welcome, friend. The day is yours.
Oh, the bastard got me pretty good this time. Ah, stats. They're terrible. And we're cured.
Keep moving.
CB intervention. I know there's an easier way to gain access to that place. You don't have to confront the Dagoth or kill transport there, certainly, but you don't have to go through him. Yes, I don't think so. I believe we're finished our business. We'll notify the temple. Yeah. Defeat Dagoth. I've defeated him. Why did I murder Nerevar? I did not murder Nerevar. The legend that we murdered Nerevar comes from the story told by a shield companion of to Nerevar, Landro Sul, who lived among the Ashlanders. The Ashlanders have retained Landro Sul's account as part of their oral histories. The account is persuasive in some details, implausible in others, and is in any case false. I have 2 accounts of Nerevar's death here in my library. Read them and judge for yourself. So... Dagoth is gone. Do I need to do something else? That's sort of the problem here at the current moment, because I'm pretty sure I've basically done everything I needed to do, but there's no acknowledgement of that fact.
I'm sure there's someone else you can bother.
So I don't know. I'll head north, visit the caverns of the Incarnate, visit the Ushalaku.
We're watching.
I escaped the place too hastily. Might as well go back just to take a look. We're easy enough to get out of here there if we need to. Where is the... this is pretty bad that I have to do this, but... Questions. Did I miss something? Did I have to do something else? Near tower, lower facility. It's not a long trip if you know where you need to go.
You no longer bear the burden of prophecy. You have achieved your destiny. You are free. The doomed Duima's folly, Lord Dagoth's temptation, the tribunal's seduction, the god's heart freed, the prophecy fulfilled. All fate sealed and sins redeemed. If you have pity, mourn the lost, but let the weeping cease. The blight is gone, and the sun's golden honey gilds the land. Hail, Savior, Hortator, and Nerevarine. Your people look to you for protection. Monster and villains, great and small, still threaten the people of Vardenfell. Enemies and evils abound, yet indomitable will might rid Morrowind of all its ills. For you, our thanks and blessing, our gift and token given. Come, take this thing from the hand of God.
Is it? So, I'm glad I returned. Otherwise, the ending would have been very unsatisfying. At least we now know it was an ending. So, Ring of Azura. What does it do? Does it look special? Night Eye 20 points, restore fatigue 3 points. This is a piece of shit ring. I love that. Love it. I can do better enchantment tested rings than the god can. So, let's try this again. Are there any reactions to our success here? I still would like to visit the Cavern of Incarnates. Maybe I can talk to them again now after everything's been set to right.
I have no time for you, Breton.
All is silence. The road is straight, without turning in darkness. I'll let there be an end to all things. I wonder what my reputation is. 85, which is quite nice. I have no idea what value means. Frame rate. Yeah, that's useless. Useless information.
We make a special trip just for you. Same low price.
I'm going to go to cool. Cool because even though I think it might be a bit further than Margan, it's much more easier to travel to the Urshilaku camp from here. This game is very easy to complete the main story in if you that's what you want to go for. It really is. Gain access. You need to gain access. Do you even need to gain access to items? I think you do. But you need to hit a static target a few times and it's over. It really is trivially easy to complete. The only reason a normal player won't be able to do it is that he doesn't know the locations at the start of the game. But that really is the only real limiting factor. I think I've seen some kind of speed run of this game in like 15 to 20 minutes from the start of the game. Naturally there's no point in playing this game that way, but it's an interesting thing to try. How quickly can you do things? You have to remember that right from the start you get enough money to do some quick travel and you can get access to the Icarian flight scrolls too, so a lot of things you can actually do right from the start. And you don't, if you know the alternative access route to the Heart Chamber, you don't have to defeat Dagoth either. You don't even need the right card, because you can still use the items, but you can't use them for a long time. So activate hammer, and I think the damage is percentage based, so you can survive right from the start. Just need to hit with a hammer, then hit with the blade for a few times, and that's it. Your victory is yours. Okay. It is as my dreams have shown me. The devil is dead and the blight is gone. This is a good time to have lived and to have seen you with my own eyes. You have slain Dagoth and all his kin, but remember too, once before Lord Nervar thought Dagoth and all his kin were dead. But we know better. We actually knew they're dead. Okay, let's visit the Tomb of the Incarnate too. Got a few comments going. I do want to talk to him. I don't. We need to see what's happened to him. I don't think he'll die, but he should become mortal. I don't know if that means he'll lose his divine powers. I don't think so. More that they can't be renewed anymore. And you can just stick a knife in the man and he'll go down. We've been here before. Now, if I just remembered where the actual Cavern of the Incarnate is, it would be great. Yeah, it's here. Ah, shit, it's so long. Oh, anyway, I want to jump there. I might as well talk about the game while we're at it, so it's just a waste of time. Yeah, what do I think about Morrowind? It's a very content-filled world. I think that how this world is built is very good. A lot of the trouble in actually doing the mission here is not about getting good enough of equipment or leveling up. It's figuring out what's going on, what do we need to do, and implementing the plan at the end. The world makes a lot of sense. It's a well-crafted world. And as far as that immersion side is concerned, it's mostly a good game. Gameplay-wise, it is not a good game. It is not a god-awful terrible game when you get to the higher levels, but it becomes sort of average. There's not a lot of good things I can say about it. Things work, but that's about it. There's nothing special about it. The fighting isn't engaging. The spells system is very good. Not good in balance, but it's more of, I'd say, interesting and entertaining. It is not terribly good in the sense that it's balanced. It's totally broken. is too overpowered to the extreme. So yeah, that's the hard part of this sort of a lower immersion wise. It is a good game. It starts strong and it stays strong. Mechanically speaking, it starts as a terrible, absolutely god-awful terrible, and then it rises up to mediocre. That makes it sort of hard
The door is locked and will not open.
give a hard to say what would be a
In the
fair
dawn hour under Azura's star, the door is opened.
hard to give a fair evaluation. Because it depends on what you like. If you are really into immersion and reading all the books and lore, you'll probably like this game quite a lot. And at least for the earlier parts, even though the mechanics are shit, there's still a lot of interesting things you can try. So it's not too difficult to keep your interest up. It's very needlessly tedious and boring, the gameplay mechanics. Even the movement is... I can't replicate the slowness anymore. I'm too fast. It's hard to really put into words. You just feel like you're moving in slow motion or tar. It's terrible. So I liked playing the game once, just fine. And there are a lot of things a content miss, so you could easily play another character. But I don't really enjoy playing the game because the mechanics aren't all that good. There's no challenge in the game after the early start. You might have a single fight that's very tough in 20-30 hours of gameplay, so that's simply not enough. The game, there's no challenge in the game. It's all about finding out the lore and mystery and the plans, what to do, where to go. So if that's what you enjoy, you can probably get quite a lot of enjoyment out of this. But if you are more into the mechanical side, how the gameplay is, you basically have spell casting as far as I can see. If that's not your thing, I don't really see any reason to play this game. It is fairly mediocre to bad. It's never good. I don't know what else to say about it. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, these are not going to give anything interesting. The devil is dead and the blood is gone. You are Nervine, you are the incarnate. You are the one. Okay, that was lovely. I'll recall myself to the Red Mountain, see if the blood is actually gone. Yeah. That is nice. It looks very different, the feel is different. So I appreciate that. But then I appreciate the fact that the main quest is not all there is to it. It is a world you are living in many sense. So even if you don't care about Dagoth, you can just ignore it. It won't hurt in any way, although the storm should be gone. Well, it could be considered a sandstorm, I guess. On the other hand, you can just take care of him very early on and then continue your life in the world. It's a very odd experience in the sense, totally opposite of what you usually get in a role-playing game, which is very railroaded. it aims for
Greetings to you. A
defeating
pleasure
the
to
big
meet
bad
you.
evil, and then it's over. And that's all there is to the game. Here, it is some
I can already
major
tell I'm not going to
part
like
in the
this.
overall setting, but it's actually it's a noticeable, sizable, but overall meager part of the content offered by the game. So I could certainly see someone playing this quite happily without ever touching the main flag too seriously. So it's a world you can live in, basically, adventure in for a while. But that's sort of the problem because the gameplay mechanics aren't all that. If you could avoid leveling up or had a level cap you could use, things might be different, but you level up too quickly, become too powerful, so all the basic enjoyment you usually have in an enjoyable game quite rapidly go away. Game is bad at the start, I think sort of in the middle, before you reach level 10 and before you reach level 20, then that's where the game is the best, because you are not bothered by you're over the bad initial period, but you're still having to actually fight the enemies. You're not too powerful for them. After that, yeah, they can really do nothing for you because of the equipment and abilities you have, so a large chunk of the enjoyment you usually get from not playing a game gets reduced quite significantly. So it's more of a you going through the quest. All battles and things like that are just, they're nothing to you. You can just plow through everything. Okay, let's end with conversation with Lord Vivek. Please, you survived. The Blight is gone, and we have survived. Now we must dedicate ourselves to rebuilding the temple, and you must dedicate yourself to your responsibilities as protector of Morrowind. We have lost our divine powers, but not altogether. Some token of the people's faith remains. We shall dedicate it to rebuilding the temple. Now that Dagoth is gone, we can turn our energies to the more humble needs of the people. This good, honest work, and I believe there is redemption in this. There are still issues to be resolved between the temple and the dissident priests, and now that our greatest enemy is gone, we must reorganize the temple to meet the needs of the people. We have less need of ordinators, for example, and greater need of priests and healers and teachers. We must find time to mourn and honor the dead. Without the power of the heart, our divine powers diminish. Our days as gods are numbered. I have told my priests that I shall withdraw from the world, and that the temple should be prepared for a change. We may be honored no longer as gods, but as saints and heroes, and the temple will return to the faith of our forefathers, worship of our ancestors and the three good Daedra, Azura, Nephala, and Boethia. The missions and traditions of the temple must continue, but without its living gods. There is much to do. You still have Kagrinak's tools, potent weapons, and the wit and experience of a proven hero. The Tribunal and the Temple are happy to yield to you the duties of fighting the enemies of Morrowind. There are many blighted beasts and horrors that have survived, and must be hunted down and destroyed. There are lesser monsters and villains of all kinds who prey upon the people. There are unsolved mysteries, and legendary treasures undiscovered. I'm sure you will find much to occupy you. So yeah. Dagoth was a god, and now he is dead. If one can truly kill a god. it is over. And you can still continue with the game. Over 500 pages of journal and a quest list that it's still full of active quests, and we have not explored many places, not talked to a lot of people in cities. We only did one of the great houses. We didn't do the Thieves Guild really. So a lot of things left undone. There's a lot of areas where we haven't been at all. A lot of Daedric items we didn't discover. So I think we got a lot of the more important places discovered. We got a few Daedric items, we did the main quest, we did a great house, we did a couple of the guilds, although they didn't end up going all that well. Yeah, expel! We could try to get promotions in Ashlanders too. Huh. And probably in Blades too, if we just find someone to give us assignments. We didn't join the Legion. So a lot of things we could have done. I didn't join the Temple, didn't join the Imperial Shrine. So I'd say at least half of the factions, major factions that are basically totally undone. So there is enough content easily for 2 or even more playthroughs. It's just that I don't think I'd want to play this game that many times. The lore is fine, but you get through that on your first playthrough. And this is why modding was invented. I would not want to play the vanilla version second time, but with mods, certainly worth a try. And to the game's credit, it would be gameplay altering mods. That's where the work is needed. And probably some kind of rebalancing mod that alters how skills affect what you do. Maybe get rid of the chance-based hitting mechanism on the melee weapons and archery. Because it's much better if for example, in archery, if you actually hit what you aim. You can do shitty damage, but it's at least you'll hit, you can train your skills that way, and if you're using some kind of magical weaponry or ammunition, you can pretty much guarantee that a skillful shot will at least give that effect to the target, so you can make it through much more efficiently. The game is much more satisfied to play because certain hits don't get altered to misses. There's just so much more benefit in that in general. General movement speed boosts so that it's higher right from the start, but maybe the maximum number isn't going to get all that high. So it's more of a stable movement right from the moment you start the game, no matter the skill, the way you end it. So there's not just a so radical of a difference. Same with the jumping, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, but yeah. It's a hard game to give any kind of a deep review like this. You'd have to sit down and write it down, so you can look at it from multiple angles and give it your review. I do understand why people like the lore of this game and how it's presented in the world, more than maybe in Oblivion or Skyrim, but I do have to say that the actual gameplay mechanics, I would say this is the worst of the three. Spellcasting custom spell system is debatable. It is interesting. It is also broken. I did enjoy it, but I can see why you'd want to get rid of it. Once you figure out how custom spells are made and how really powerful things you can do with them, everything breaks down. So enchantment system basically the same. You shouldn't try to do multiple things. You should pick some totally broken thing and then just focus on that. It is as high as possible. I think Chameleon might be the most broken one. It doesn't matter. It's an interesting system, and if you have a real strong concerns about totally breaking the game, just use some other enchantment. It's still powerful, it's still useful, and the game is still playable. And you don't need it. Even without those, there would have not been any challenge, at least in the original game. Blood Moon and Tribunal might have been a different story, but yeah. It's an interesting experience. Definitely worth trying out. Probably with some kind of a huge mod that it improves how the game looks, even if you chose the original gameplay mechanics. This, how the game looks here, this is, yeah, of course, it is pretty bad. The water looks pretty bad. There's a huge fog everywhere, so you can't see any distant lands. Trees aren't really trees, everything. The game doesn't look terrible, but there's enough modders working on it, so you can make it look a lot better. Put anti-alias, a lot AA on this, with all kinds of graphical trickery that you can make it look better. So yeah. But it is what it is. I did enjoy it.